Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers recap and analysis. A crucial, critical, must-win game in Week 5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Denver Broncos, winning this one 27-19. Let's talk about how the Steelers got this game and maybe their season back on track. Now, of course, it is just one game, so we don't want to make too much out of one victory, but it was a really good victory nonetheless. And, the big thing was for this team coming into the season and throughout the last three losses have been, they're going to need to get a run game going to have an offense that can click and be effective and a team that can ultimately win games. And that finally happened on Sunday against Denver, who came in with a pretty good rushing defense overall, some basic numbers, yards per carry and per game and things like that. But Pittsburgh running for I think a buck 47 as a team. Najee Harris a career day with a buck 22. He would have had more had it not been for a hamstring injury or cramping or whatever the issue was to get him out of the later portions of the second half of the fourth quarter in that one. But really comes down to the offensive line winning the point of attack. This offense staying on schedule. You're not getting off script. You're not having negativity on first down for the most part. And it really just kind of kept your offense flowing in a rhythm. You could sustain drives, you could win on third down. They were 7-12 on third down, and so I think that was the big thing: the run game being more effective. And the other thing, just kind of bouncing off of that in a bigger picture, is just situational football. Pittsburgh was 7-12 on third and fourth down, whereas Denver was 5-16 on third and fourth down. And Pittsburgh was 2-2 in the red zone in this game. Denver was 1-3. So if you're a team that wins significantly by a large margin on third down and in red zone play, probably 90 to 95% of the time, you're going to win those games. And Pittsburgh did today. Now, got scary at the end, of course, in very typical Steelers fashion with Denver mounting a late comeback. And James Pierre, kudos to him. There were definitely some negative plays today. The long touchdown he allowed to Cortland Sutton, but he made the play at the end of the game with the interception. Was good man coverage across the board, and he finished that one off. And so, Pierre, a young corner, as Mike Tomlin says, is going to take his lumps. He's going to be tested, but a short memory and a tough guy, and responded in a very big moment. But to go back to the offense, getting chunk plays, that's another thing. The run game was a lot more effective today. Of course, you want to get those big, chunk plays that get you in the end zone or in the scoring range, and that happened with Deontay Johnson. To have back-to-back opening possession touchdowns in consecutive games is unheard of. That hasn't happened, I think, since 2017 for the Steelers. So that feels really good. Another long touchdown to Deontay, great throw and catch by Ben and Johnson. 50-yarder to Claypool. That match up on Von Miller. Usually Pittsburgh's on the other end of that, where they got a linebacker on a top receiver, and you get burned for it. So it's nice to see the shoe on the other foot. And then the touchdown from Ben to Claypool, 18 yards, middle of the field throw, which you haven't seen a whole lot of, and a really good throw by Ben. So Ben was not perfect in this game. Had the sack fumble, which I put on him. Could have been picked off by Alexander Johnson twice. The second one was on Najee for slipping, but the first one was just Ben making a poor play. But much better in this one overall. The line though was by far their best game of the season. And it goes back to the offense, just staying on schedule, winning on first down, things they've not done at all, even in their win against Buffalo week one. They finally did Sunday against Denver. Defensively, I thought the run defense was better in this one. I knew it had to be a lot better than where it was. I think overall it was pretty good. Now Javonte Williams bust that 49-yard run on that little toss play that left Minka did not have his best game again and missed that tackle. But kudos again to James Pierre for making that tackle. Gets them down to the 2-yard line instead of getting him in the end zone. And Denver has to kick a field goal on that drive. So that's a very significant play in the scope of this whole game. Although again Pierre had his ups and downs, that was obviously an up in a big play. So overall, Denver didn't get to control the game with their run game. They didn't get to possess the football a lot, especially in the first half. I think the pass rush for Pittsburgh could have been better in this one. I think Denver might have gotten more max protect, and Tomlin said they were keeping the tight end in quite a bit. Noah Fan, that's one reason why his stats were pretty quiet on Sunday. 3 catches for 20 yards, but the pass rush still could have been better, knowing that you had Watt and Highsmith and Ingram all healthy and ready to play. But overall got the job done. And as Ben said after the game, and I echo those thoughts, 100%. I didn't really care how they won this game. Ugly, pretty, by 40, by 4, or how this game ended up being. You have a big lead, you're up 24-6, and Denver comes back and nearly ties the game up or has a chance to go for two if they had scored a touchdown with 11 seconds left. But you get the win, you're 2-3. Now you're playing a Seattle team, and there's no guarantee you don't want to get too cocky about it. But a Seattle team that's going to be without Russell Wilson for the first time basically ever since Wilson got drafted, and they'll be starting a backup in Geno Smith. So if we'll see what happens, this team can beat Geno Smith and the Seahawks are back 3-3, and they're gonna start climbing back into this thing. So that made today such a vital and important day to go 2-3 instead of 1-4. And so did enough across the board. Chris Boswell, by the way, and Presley Harvin, I thought had good days as the Steelers specialist. A couple of penalties there was frustrating, but overall theme of the day, really good job by the offensive line and pass pro and in the run game. And if you do that stuff going forward, this team can turn it around. That is how this team will be defined. Its season's review will be based off of how successful or unsuccessful that run game was. They're building, they're in a right direction, but one bad game, they have an ugly game against Seattle, and we're kind of back to the same talking points we've been at for large chunks of the season. So enjoy the victory today, Pittsburgh, 2-3 on the year, and hopefully can get another victory Sunday night against the Seattle Seahawks. Appreciate you watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you guys have not done so already, and we'll talk to you soon.